Hi, this is Janelle, a life coach with a niche in relationship coaching for professional women who are 35 plus who are seeking to date or partner with more self-awareness and intentionality. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're interested in this type of content. All right, so recently, Trick Daddy was on a podcast with Nene Leakes, the Real Housewife of Atlanta diva alumni, and he made a very controversial statement. And Trick Daddy, of course, is a Southern rapper. He's represents Miami, Florida. But in his statement, he stated that he does not date women over 35 because they are damaged goods. Now, Trick Daddy is a 51-year-old man who's not particularly in the best of health, nor is the most aesthetically pleasing to most women's eye, in my opinion. But anyway, I want to get into some of the responses that folks had to say, men, but especially women, about this statement. And then I'm going to come in on the back end to give my thoughts about this and how it aligns to a lot of things in modern day dating.
Maybe you and one or two other women, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not attracted to no women over 35 years old.
You're not?
No.
Well, honey, I know you are attracted to me, honey.
But y'all standards are too high. Y'all are too emotional. Y'all are damaged good from past relationship.
I am not damaged.
You don't even realize you're damaged, you see, because...
What's up, TikTok? We gotta address Trick Daddy. So... Trick Daddy said that if you is 31 years old, he not attracted to you. Even though Trick Daddy is 51 years old. So you telling me a 51 years old is not attracted to a 35 years old. That's okay. Plus, Trick Daddy said that if you 35 years old, you're washed up. Bro, you 51 years old, and you ain't even married. That's the first red flag. I mess with Trick Daddy because we both from Florida, but what he said, he contradicting himself. How you gonna call a 35-year-old woman washed up when she's younger than you? And another thing is, these older men gotta stop looking at these younger women. The first red flag is why you can't find a woman your own age. Trick Daddy, be real with yourself. If you was married to a younger woman, they'll still judge you. But the fact that you still judging younger women is beyond me. I ain't saying you washed up, Trick Daddy, but come on now. Who out here 50 plus and still single, man? That's just crazy. You should be married. You should be established. You shouldn't even be speaking on the younger generation. That's the thing I always see old heads talk about. You know what I'm saying? Old heads that ain't married, they talk about the younger women, how they not attracted to the younger women. Go look at the whole Shannon Sharp situation. They warned Shannon Sharp about messing with younger women, and he didn't listen. Monique said in the interview, Shannon Sharp, you need to talk to women your age because they're well established. They're not trying to get any money from you. But Shannon Sharp didn't listen. Shannon Sharp was always attracted to women 40 years younger than him, women in their 20s. And guess what? He was attracted to the wrong one, because think about it. That same woman that Shannon Sharp was attracted to took $20 million from him. You can learn a lot from that. But Trick Daddy, a person that's 35 is not washed up. A person that's your age is probably washed up. You shouldn't even be dating no more if you 51. You should be married by now. So you can't speak on women that's 35 and still single.
I'm not attracted to no women over 35 years old.
You're not?
No.
Well, honey, I know you are attracted to me, honey.
But y'all standards are too high. Y'all are too emotional. Y'all are damaged good from past relationship.
I am not damaged.
Nene, you could just look at her. She looks polished. She looks well kept. Like she takes good care of herself. And then you have Trick Daddy, who's there too. I'm mad that it almost feels like she was auditioning for Trick Daddy. He says he doesn't find women over 35 attractive, and she's like, well, honey, I know you find me attractive. He's calling women damaged goods, and you're like, not me, I'm not damaged goods. Girl, who cares what that man thinks? You don't have to be every man's type. To me, honestly, one of the best things in the world as a woman is a man who you don't want, who says you're not his type. Good. Whew, then you'll stay out of my face. I feel like there's some men that do this on purpose, where they try to insult a woman to her face to see how she'll react. He's talking about women over 35, knowing she's over 35. He just wants to see how she'll react, and she fell for it. I'm not damaged goods. I'm attractive. They'll tell a woman with her eyebrow and her nose pierced they don't like piercings. They do this on purpose. So you'll say, well, I can take these piercings out. Oh, I don't have to wear all this makeup. My body is natural. Like, they want you to start tap dancing. They want you to start auditioning. And sometimes it's the raggediest men who you would never give a chance to in the first place that you're explaining yourself to. Don't explain nothing to him. When they know they don't have a chance with you, they'll try to insult you. Sometimes when a man thinks that you're up here, he'll try to knock you down a couple pegs.
Trick Daddy out here talking like he can't date women his age. Sir, you should be lucky anybody is willing to look at you without flinching. Now, Trick Daddy say he can't date women his age because they got too much baggage. Now, let's be real, y'all. Let's be honest. We know that's not the reason. Trick Daddy out here dating young girls because he looks like the burnt end of a cigarette that you forgot and left it burning in the ashtray. He looks like a loaf of bread you left in the toaster until it started a whole house fire. Trick Daddy looked like he been having a permanent beef with skincare since 1997. My man looked like the human version of expired milk. Bumpy, sour, and sitting out for too long. If regret had a face, it would be Trick Daddy at 9 in the morning. See, none of that what Trick Daddy said was ever about women having baggage. He needs somebody young enough that doesn't realize he's a project, not a prize. It's always the dudes that need a chambermaid, a wet nurse, and an oil change, talking about they want a young girl. Young ladies, listen to Auntie. Don't let them fool you. In a few years, you won't even be his girlfriend. You're going to be his home health aide. That's not dating, baby. That is elder care. So let's stop the cap trick. You ain't avoiding baggage, beloved. You are the baggage.
So he goes on the show, and in a nutshell, he basically says that he is not attracted to women who are over the age of 35 because women over 35 are washed up. Their standards are too high. They are damaged goods from past relationships, blah, blah, blah. And what's interesting is that, Trick Daddy is 51 years old, right? So the fact that he even sees 35 to even be like older is kind of weird to me. It's given a little bit of maybe a little bit of manipulative pervert energy, but I digress. But I wanted to say this. If you're a woman that's under the age of 35 and you are dating Trick Daddy or willing to date Trick Daddy or somebody who looks or acts like him, you probably need therapy. You need to see a therapist. You have mental health issues that are undiagnosed, because that means that you don't see any value in yourself. You don't understand your own value, and you really think that that's all you can get, and you're settling. Because there's no woman in her right mind, whether if she's under 35 or over 35, that would look at Trick Daddy and go, I want that. I want that. This motherfucker, do he even still have any money? When was the last time Trick Daddy made a song? When was the last time Trick Daddy made a song? He does what? Reality shows every blue moon? I don't know what kind of money he making doing that, but so it's he couldn't really have that much money. And he said to me, he's giving cheap energy anyway. Whenever a man will say a woman is washed up over 35, more than likely that those are always the men who have abused women at some point in their younger years, or who have taken advantage of women who are younger, who have manipulated women and faked their entire personality. And then when they're done using and abusing this young girl, and 10 years later, she grows up and now she's over 35, now he's calling her damaged goods when he was technically the one who contributed to her being damaged. But they don't want to mention that part of it. They want to leave that part out. You contributed to damaging a lot of women, because Trick Daddy, why do you think you call yourself Trick Daddy, right? So you contributed to that shit, and then you want to shame them when they get older, when they no longer take your bullshit, because they've already learned not to take your bullshit. They already learned from their mistakes. So now you're considering them to be washed up. But really what it is, oh, well, I'm no longer able to take advantage of you. So now I'm not attracted to you. That's really what he really wants to say. Well, he doesn't actually want to say that, but that's really what he means. And any guy that says that a woman is washed up after 35, that's exactly what he means.
And I'm not even mad at Trick Daddy saying that he don't want women over 35. Because I believe I speak for all women of all ages when I say ain't nobody checking for no damn Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy, we literally saw you on Love and Hip Hop chasing behind Joy, refusing to sign the damn divorce papers. Probably still to this day, y'all probably still married because you don't want to let that damn girl go. And she been trying to run away from you. You swollen, puffer face, pothole having ass. Like, look, for real, let me not even go there and block my blessings. But be fucking for real. I think Trick Daddy has not developed mentally here, that he don't even know how old he is. He's still watching them videos on YouTube and looking at old pictures of himself and thinking like, yeah, I'm that nigga. No, you was that nigga. You a cokehead now, okay? You sick. You need somebody to take care of your ass.
How is Trick Daddy gonna talk about anybody damaged goods or anything like that? And he look like a piece of dookie.
And Trick Daddy is one of them other niggas where you need to stop letting these booty butt ugly ass niggas fuck with y'all. Because he went on a podcast with Nene Leakes and said, oh yeah, I don't mess with nothing 35 and up because they be doing too much and they too needy and they're damaged goods. Like they're used up. I can't do nothing with that. What? Yo, bitches could say the same thing about you. Like, I'm lost. Like, nigga, what are you yapping about? Y'all motherfuckers is gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all ain't learned from Shannon Sharp, obviously. You need to be dating a bitch that's around your age group. What the fuck does a younger bitch have to give to you? These bitches are high maintenance too. So what are you talking about? Like, it makes no sense. Younger bitches, I feel as if are way more high maintenance than the older people. So like, what is he talking about? Like, bitch, you need to get somebody your age. Like, what?
Trick Daddy really brought his extra sickly ass out talking about he don't date women over 35. Nigga, be serious. You don't date nobody, I bet, motherfucker. I know he is some 304's best customer. Why are we acting like Trick Daddy's fucking opinion matters? Have you looked at him? And I think that's the interesting thing about men. They're so quick to talk about how women are going to look after they have children, how women are going to look when they reach a certain age. A lot of them actually let themselves go. They try to hold on to what they look like in high school in their early 20s, and they forget that, bitch, you're aging too. And it's actually no excuse for you because you don't carry a motherfucking baby. So explain to me why you have gotten oversized and overweight, bitch. Sorry, y'all, I had to calm down. But I just cannot believe the nerve of his decrepit looking ass, frog looking ass motherfucker gonna come out and talk about who he don't date. Who asked him? Who asked Trick Daddy? Who's trying to do a 20v1 with him if there ain't no money involved? Like, sir, cut the fucking shit. I'm tired of this shit. Put these motherfucking microphones. They need to be $600 million just to speak on them. Because everybody in these motherfucking podcasts, bitch, I'm tired.
So Trick Daddy said women over 35 standards are too high. That just goes to show that you older men, you're sick. That's why y'all prey on these little ass girls, these young girls, these ones in their 20s and these 18 and 19 year olds because you feel like they gonna go for that bullshit that you got. You're taking these little bitty ass Michael Kors person shit that y'all want to give. A grown woman, when you come, you got to come with some substance and you got to step. Y'all don't like women over 35. But for your old crater face, pothole face having ass to say that, sir, good, because we don't want you any goddamn way. Somebody wants you, crater face. So stay over there, because they going for the bullshit. We ain't.
Y'all, so it appears that we just lost one, and us older girls, we are down bad right now, okay? We lost one of our true high value potential men, all right? And Trick Daddy with his ashy trout mouth, bobblehead, ugly face, bloated stomach, high cholesterol having ass, took himself down to the Nene Leakes podcast, where he sat down and explained to her why he does not date and prefer women over the age of 35. We know this is a constant conversation that men like to have because they themselves are delusional and they center themselves in everything, in every situation and scenario. So they really believe and think that we give a flying fuck about what they're telling us about what they don't like when it comes in regards to us, okay? When I'm telling you how self-absorbed, the audacity of this man in particular to sit his bad built ass on that podcast and tell us that women over the age of 35, their standards are just too high. Trick said, you see the way I'm fucking looking? I ain't got it. Because that's all I read that as. Same as with Slim Thug when he was sitting in that car and he was sizing up his pockets to the pockets of Megan Thee Stallion and her NBA basketball player, talking about she got him a $300,000 watch and I can't return that favor. Nobody was asking you to. She wasn't asking you, telling us that you like acts of service. I bet you do, sir, because you ain't got it. Okay? So that's all I heard out of Trick mouth too. Trick said your standards are too high, meaning I can't get away with running the same play and the same game on you that I can with a 20-something, okay? With someone who is living within my means to, you know, do something with. He wants to feel like the top dog. He wants to feel like you are impressed by the things that he do for you, by the crumbs that he will be willing to give to you. And if you are over the age of 35, you do not fit that description because he knows he has nothing to offer for you. He then followed that up talking about, you know, something I hear these delusional men talk about often, and that's how women carry baggage, as if we don't have to hear about that high school sweetheart of yours that broke your heart in the 10th grade, and you use that as the precursor to treat every other woman you run across in life like absolute trash. You vowed that you was going to run game and cheat on every woman after that one original heartbreak. As if y'all are not riddled yourself with childhood trauma, daddy and mommy issues that you refuse to heal, and so you take that out on the unsuspecting women in your life that you subject to the trauma that is you. But if you say so, we carry a lot of baggage. You got it. But y'all know what really pissed me off in that whole entire interview? Because what Trick Daddy got to say out his mouth, I really don't care. What pissed me off, what had me in that whole interview was when Trick said, I don't date women over the age of 35 because y'all standards too high. I'm not attracted to them. Right? And I think attraction was the wrong word to say. You don't date them because they standards is too high for you. Period, point blank. It ain't got shit to do with attraction. You just can't get over on them. But anyways, when Trick said that out his mouth, and here go Nene bobblehead ass self. Okay, Nene gonna sit there and say, well, I know you attracted to me, honey. Bitch, you couldn't help but to be a pick-me. You could not help but to pluck yourself out of the group that he was talking about and, you know, single yourself out as not one of those. I'm not one of those that he was talking about you too. He would not touch you with a 10-foot pole. He was talking about you too, Nene. Attraction ain't got shit to do with it. Like I said, he was talking about you too. You too much for that man to handle. He don't want you. He don't like you. That had me gag. Like, damn. While he's sitting here talking about women, here you go talking about not me. Not me. Y'all, that had me. That had me. Not at her big age. Not at your big age, Nene. But anyways, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. I'm pretty sure we on the same page here, but drop down in the comment section and let me know y'all thoughts.
Trick Daddy, you are the damaged good. You sitting in that chair, look like you melting inside of it. It look like you are decompressed. I wouldn't even let you touch me with a 10-foot pole. And you have the nerve talking about some women over the age of 35 are damaged good. Their standards are too high. This is what happened when men ain't got nothing left but the audacity, okay? You had the audacity to say that you don't want no 35-year-old. Listen, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they don't want you either. And listen, I'm 29 years old, okay? And I'm speaking on behalf of all 29 years old. We don't want your your ass either. Matter of fact, I think I can speak for all women when I say we don't want you at all, okay? Who's getting in line to date Trick Daddy, okay? You are washed up. Trick Daddy, you could trick or treat your ass up out of here. Have you took a look at yourself in the mirror to see what you look like? And then you had the nerve to say that women are damaged good? Then what the hell is you? Actually, I can't wait till I'm 35 years old so I can be more safe from Trick Daddy. Talking about women's standards are too high. Listen, okay, my standards will be on the moon if that means that it will keep me away from you.
Let me get this right. Trick Daddy got his ass on here and said he don't date women 35 and up because, number one, their standards is too high. And number two, they're damaged goods from their previous relationships. Trick Daddy, do you not know these young girls will walk you like a dog? Take you for a run for your money? Don't underestimate them. And we know why you want a younger woman. You want a younger woman to take care of you because you are a walking health issue. You are a walking red flag. And us women that's 35 and up, and because I'm 42, but us women that's 35 and up, we see that in you. We know that about you. We're gonna do our research on you and know that you don't meet the standard. Your quality of life is fastly deteriorating. And I do know that he has lupus or something like that. So you are a walking condition that somebody that's new probably don't want to take that on with you. So that's why our standards would be too high, or you would consider us damaged good, because we won't want to take on a necessary problem. And I do feel bad that he does have that condition. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that they don't have a cure for. You know what I'm saying? But don't think these 35 and under women is going to put up with that either. They're going to use you exactly for what you're worth. It's in your name. Trick Daddy. You a trick. And they're expecting you to trick off. That's about it, because ain't nobody that young taking you that serious. But they might be in it for the money, to see what they can get out of it. They want to have a good time and see how much they can get out of you. It's cool if your preference is 35 and under, but don't set those precautions on us. Don't put that out there in the air that we damaged goods, because it ain't true. We just see you for who you are, a walking red flag. It's bright. It's bright like the stars. It's bright. But go ahead, get your 35 and under. You gonna wish you did, because they gonna take you for a run, my guy. They ain't slow. They know what it is. They know what time it is. They know what you want and what you looking for. You're looking for somebody to take care of you because you got a lot of health issues. And you're gonna need a young one to take care of you, because us older ones, we ain't taking it on. We're not gonna do it. Sorry, not sorry, okay?
The most important question right now that I need an answer to is, what under 35-year-old was fucking Trick Daddy in the first place? Come to the front, please. Immediately. And I mean Trick Daddy right now in his current state. What under 35-year-old is fucking him? That's the most important question as of right now. And I need some answers, personally.
Let's jump into my favorite part of all of the content I post on YouTube. And that's just my thoughts, where I get to kind of express what I feel about whatever we have read or gone over. So let's get into it. All right. Now, after watching all of those clips, I hope you got, as much of a chuckle as I did out of the original clip of Trick Daddy, talking crazy that he doesn't date anyone over 35, but also seeing the responses, and the women did not disappoint. And the few men that I added in, they saw the ridiculousness of this as well. So let's get into it. Trick Daddy being a 51-year-old man who is not at the pinnacle of health and wellness. He's definitely not on a lot of people's radar in terms of how someone would necessarily rate attractiveness and other items. Has a lot of nerve and audacity to talk about women who are 15, 16 years younger than him being undesirable to him because he has something negative to say about them. He perceives them as damaged goods. Now, if you recall, when he was on a reality show in Miami a couple years ago, I don't know if that was Love and Hip Hop Miami, or I think that's what it was, Love and Hip Hop Miami. He gave his now ex-wife hell and the runaround. She's trying to divorce him and he refused to sign the papers. His ex-wife was beautiful woman. Joy, I believe her name was. Beautiful woman. Very classy lady. Looked like she definitely could go out here and meet somebody who has more damn sense than Trick Daddy. The fact that he was basically holding her hostage until, the judge just signed it and she was able to get a divorce. I think it takes 2 years in Florida, or did at that time. It is hilarious that he has the nerve to be, saying women who are, I wouldn't even say older, women who are probably established, well-heeled in their career, definitely with full brain development, are damaged goods, when he, in fact, based upon his behavior that we observed in that show, he is the man who's causing the damage. Okay? It is the audacity for such a man to have so many controversial opinions, and he has others. He doesn't think Beyonce can sing, side note, which I think is a joke. But this is not the first time he has made a derogatory comment about women and their age. So how does this relate to modern dating? Once again, I think it displays that men of a certain age have a delusion by listening to a lot of rhetoric out here about how they're the prize, they're the king, that, time stops for them. They're always going to be, boyish and desirable. That is a lie. Okay. And when men get to an age where they can't fool women anymore, especially when they're past their prime years of being famous, in this, example, Trick has been famous and out for a long time. I think Now came out in 99, so 26 years at this point. And back then he looked different. He was a more aesthetically pleasing and more well put together guy. I also believe in better health than he is now. And he probably could get away with some of these things. And he was able to go after the young baddies. He now likes younger women for a different reason. Part of it is aesthetics. I get that. But a lot of it is for manipulation and control. He wants to be with someone he can manipulate and control and is not going to call him out on his shit. And he is prime example of men who have, I would say, age blindness. And they're not being honest about where they fall on the scales of desirability. And that's something everyone needs to be honest with. If you're grown, you need to be honest about, starting with physical is easiest, where you have pluses and where you have opportunities. I think Trick Daddy has age blindness. I think that he believes he still looks the way he did back in 99 when he came out. And I remember polo was his thing. Huge fan of Trick Daddy. I went to undergrad in South Florida, so listen to a lot of Miami rap. So know his music very well. But the fact that in 2025 he is saying stuff like this shows that he is fed into the delusion that he can just talk all this yin yang about women and it's okay. And also it lets me know he's probably been listening to a lot of this very harmful content that's targeted toward men, the incel red pill ideology about men and aging, where he does not feel that the, same laws of time and gravity and all these things apply to him. And that's why you saw in the responses, people being so brutal about his appearance. Now, I do think, as grown folk, we need to be more mature than that. But I understand it because he's the same type of man that will be quick to call a woman too black, too ugly, hair too nappy. And you want to look at him and be like, sir, if a woman's not your type, she's not your type. But you need to be very honest about what you look like and where you fall on the, scale of desirability, I'll call it. So Trick Daddy is just once again displaying to women that there are a lot of men who have a little coin and definitely men who don't, who are getting older and they're failing to grow up and mature. I heard it once said, we're all going to age. You either get wiser or you just get older. To me, he's an example of a man who's just getting older. He, to me, has no awareness of where he's at in life, what he has shown to the world through his music, through his life, through the reality show on how he views and behaves in relationships and treats women. And what, honestly, I don't know about anybody else, but most women aren't jumping to start dating a man who already looks like he has health issues. And that's not a diss on him. But even looking at him in that interview, he looks like he has some potential health issues either coming up soon or they're already manifested. And I don't know too many people who want to walk into that. So he really needs to take a step back. I hope he listens to some of this backlash or feedback that he's getting and really assesses who he is, where he's at, what he can really attract, and what he needs to work on within himself. Regular men need to take a page from the feedback, the backlash that he's getting, to do the same thing, because he sits in the seat that a lot of men sit in by saying these outlandish, audacious things about women. I also believe that the over 35 remark was interesting because he still thinks women that are that much younger than him are damaged, which is concerning to me in one aspect. On another aspect, because you're like, well, how young do you want to date? Or is he the type of cat that's trying to date an 18-year-old? That's questionable for him to say that about women that are 16 years younger than he is right now. Craziness. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. Love to hear your feedback and comments below. Thank you for joining me today for this episode of Response and React. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, check out the links below. Also, check out my podcast, The Successful Invisible, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Until next time, this is your relationship coach, Janelle, signing off.